Get out of my way!
1, 2, 3, 4!
Alright. Oh, fucking. What the fuck? Oh my god. When I first got that PS5, my Horizon bundle, I also got a free game that was actually already installed on the PS5 called Astro's Playroom. I played it and it basically felt like a tech demo. No, very impressive tech demo. It was a very good game actually. And it really showed us what the PS5 controller is capable of doing. The whole motion control and adaptive triggers and all that stuff. But I thought that it lacked a little in substance, a little in content, but it was still a really great experience. And I wanted more of that. So they also came out with an Astro Bot VR game. I couldn't play it because I don't have anything VR related, so I skipped that. But they just came out with an Astro Bot, a full release, full length 3D platformer. And I was a little skeptical at first because I'm like, okay, what if this lacks substance too? But then the reviews came in. And yeah, it's acclaimed all across the board. So I decided to pick it up because I feel like I'd be missing out. And you know what? I'm glad I picked this game up because this is an amazing 3D platformer. It's a strong Game of the Year contender, to say the least. Now, with that being said, a game like this, it's so great that whatever flaws are in it, you just don't really want to talk about. And there are a few flaws that I have with it, but I don't want it to be me to express my criticisms because I want to stay focused on the positive. So, I am going to get the bad out of the way by sending you over to my recessive twin who lives upstairs in the attic because he's not allowed downstairs because he breaks stuff. Doppelganger Tard. Doppelganger Tard, are you there? Hello? What the? Hey, who turned out the lights? Doppelganger Tard is here. Nitpicker's Guide to the Galaxy. What the fuck was that? What are you, Doppelganger who now?
Oh, I'm sorry, Darian. I thought I would try something a little bit different for this year's episode of Nitpicker's Guide to the Galaxy. Hey, look, I am not a Spock. I am not a Spock. I talk about the few things we find wrong with otherwise strong Game of the Year contenders. This year we will be looking at the new PS5 exclusive Astro Bot. This is without a doubt the most amazing platformer of the year. I guess you could call it astronomically amazing. Sorry, I guess that was a stupid joke. I think my biggest gripe with this game are these optional challenge levels that are super hard. Not only are you not allowed a single mistake, but when you mess up, you have to start the whole thing over from the beginning. Because unlike the rest of the game, there are no checkpoints here. Now, you can easily dismiss this complaint as a skill issue. Fair enough. But that doesn't change the fact that not having checkpoints on the levels that need them most is a big middle finger to the player, as it makes needing to get through all the parts you've already mastered all the more tedious. That's the whole point of checkpoints, is it not? I mean, what is this, an NES game now?
Fuck you, asshole.
Over the course of the first world or two, you'll encounter these character cutouts that at first seem to have no meaning or gameplay purpose, only come to find out later on that they are used for photo mode to get extra coins. Except you can't unlock photo mode until after already having played these early levels. Well, shit! Why not just give us photo mode from the beginning then? Also, a few of the control tutorials can seem a little confusing at first. Like this one, where it's telling me to use L1, R1, and X, when really all you need to do is glide with X over these mystery platforms to unlock the secret. There was one instance where the controls outright suck. I'm mainly talking about the boss in the Horizon chapter where you shoot the weak points in slow motion. The problem is you don't seem to have any control over when you slow down time to take your shot. The game seems to do it at random, which can really screw you up big time. Maybe we're just missing something here. Regardless, it was an annoying endeavor to say the least. Also, there are some power-ups that take off your favorite unlocked costume. But then some that don't? Huh. And then out of nowhere, Darian died here, for visibly no reason. What happened? Lastly, the game actually did crash once at the end right after Darian unlocked his golden statue by collecting all the puzzle pieces in the game. Anyway, I gotta go. I can smell my fried flying squirrel burning on my hot plate up in the attic. It's lunchtime. Until next time, Darian and friends, bye-bye.
What the hell are you?
So you play as Astro Bot, who gets his ship, his PS5 ship, torn apart into pieces, and your crew displaced across the galaxy by the main villain, space bully Nebulax. And throughout the game, you are tasked with rescuing as many of your stranded bot crew as possible so they can assist you in recovering all those stolen ship parts so you can reassemble your PS5 and take the fight to Nebulax. It actually reminds me a lot of ToeJam and Earl, where you explore Earth to find all your ship parts so that you can return to your alien home planet. Alongside collecting your fellow bot crew, some based on iconic or beloved first-party Sony characters like Bloodborne's Yarnum Hunter you see right here, are puzzle pieces to find in either hard-to-find spots, hidden nooks and crannies, or maybe even at the start flight of the level. Over time, collecting a numerous amount of these will unlock new cosmetic hubs back on the crash site planet. These range from being able to change the color PlayStation controller jet, changing into the costume of your favorite PlayStation character, and my personal favorite, the place that unlocks you all of those controller skins, character costumes, as well as props for all the bots you have hanging around, called the Gacha Lab. This is basically the prize machine where you use all the coins you've collected to buy all these things. Here's where that 30 years of celebrating PlayStation's legacy really kicks itself into maximum overdrive. Now, I don't mean to drag this review on repetitively by showing every little reference that gave me so much level of admiration and excitement for this game's unending amount to dedicating our fan service with love letter squabbles, but I nerded out so much here in a way that bordered on euphoric. Now, I saw games like God of War, Uncharted, Horizon, Little Big Planet, Ratchet & Clank, all that stuff get recognition as expected, but I was surprised to see some of these not being first-party licenses, like Resident Evil, for instance, despite the first one initially being released only on PS1. It also made me smile when I saw hardcore or niche games included, like Bloodborne, Demon Souls, or Neo make it in. But the one I was not expecting at all was a series I thought Sony had forgotten all about. Onimusha. Look, they remembered. They acknowledged its existence. They even added Samanosuke's lightning sword combo from the original. This brand recognition gives me hope that we might someday see a revival of that long-forgotten franchise yet. Sadly, though, not necessarily every first-party IP in Sony's 3 decades made it in here. It would have been cool to see Twisted Metal or Dino Crisis make an appearance. I was also shocked to not see anything Final Fantasy VII related. That must mean Square Enix didn't want to authorize permission for Team Asobi. Oh well, their loss. But man, when I saw that Samanosuke bot I rescued, I immediately got my own hopes up, thinking they would also remember 2 other long-lost PS1 and 2 series I grew up with, like Tenshu, and seeing Rikimaru and a Yame bot. But I also didn't even get to see Siphon Filter, a bigger surprise of omission considering they were all recently ported to PS5. Imagine how funny it'd be seeing a Gabe Logan bot run around the crash site tasing everyone else. The more bots you rescue on other planets, the more they can assist you with exploring the crash site, revealing even more notable PlayStation icons like Spiral the Dragon, Amaterasu from Okami, and even this dumbass animal from The Last Guardian. God, I hated that fucking game. There is just so much to find in Astro Bot. For those of you who were worried that the game would lack in content like Astro's Playroom, I can safely set your mind to ease when I say that between the crash site and the 6 other solar systems that each have many planets, a completionist run will likely take you around 20 hours, if not more, to do everything there is to do. And for a high-quality 3D platformer like this, that's a perfect length. Not too short, and not too long either. Every bot rescue, every puzzle piece to find, secret level to discover, and optional challenges to overcome, you will get your money's worth, believe me. Even if you're like me and platformers aren't your expertise. Of course, it's also worth mentioning that there is new free content and updates coming soon as well. What I also want to say is, this game utilizes its space perfectly. Around every nook and cranny is something meaningful and with purpose. There's no wasted space in this game. It all feels alive and worthwhile to explore. Can I just say something about these graphics, man? This game is simply beautiful. Astro Bot is proof that certain games don't need to have realistic looking assets or art styles in order to blow heads. It is clear, crisp, colorful, vibrant, and I can't even imagine how they could make this game look prettier than it already is. I am confident this game's visuals will stand the test of time. And the music, god damn! I was not expecting the music from a game like this to slap so hard. There's even one that sounds like an 80s retro synthwave track. I suppose it's about time I actually talk about the gameplay, or the depth of gameplay, I should say. I might have just saved the best part about this game for last in my review, because it sums up why this game is so phenomenal in general. At first, it's not much to write home about, right? You got your double jump jetpack and your basic punches, but then the game slowly starts introducing you to new abilities, power-ups, and gameplay mechanics. And the variety of these steadily increase in each new planet and continuously do so, combining analog with motion control flawlessly, all the way to culminate in the grand finale, which has to be one of the greatest last levels to any video game I've ever played. I very seldom play a game that does its absolute best to innovate and do new things around every new corner. You know how when Horizon Zero Dawn came out in 2017, a lot of Sony executives kept saying that game would be the Zelda killer, even though Breath of the Wild still crushed that game as good as it was? Well, this may just be the honeymoon phase talking, okay? But I truly believe that Astro Bot is Sony's Mario killer. I think that this is a 3D platformer that does the genre even better than most 3D Mario games ever had. I'm sorry if this is a spoiler alert for some of you, but after you beat the boss of each of the 5 main story solar systems, you unlock a final planet there that serves as one huge fan service dedication to some of PlayStation's most recently recognized franchises, with a PS5 ship piece to recover at the end of each of them. I'm mentioning this because these are some of the best highlights about Astro Bot. You've already seen a little of the Horizon one, but there is also a God of War level that gives you the abilities of Kratos, hitting enemies with your Leviathan axe and throwing huge tree trunks to break obstacles in your way. They even feature a few of those Nordic treasure chests too. Another one is a Loco Roco level, which, in my opinion, is kind of unusual since it's not a very well talked about series. And I've never tried a Loco Roco game before, but now that I've played this, I want to try Loco Roco. It is now on my wish list for PS4 games to get on sale, because this was just so much fun, and the motion control worked wonderfully here. My favorite one, though, has to be the Uncharted world. You turn into a literal Nathan Drake killing machine, shooting as many enemies and causing as much havoc, widespread destruction, and convenient disaster-caused pathways as the treasure hunter himself. I feel like out of all these homage levels, Uncharted is the one that really made me feel like I was playing what it was doing its best to replicate within the confines of Astrobot's core mechanics. It felt the most accurate, I should say. It even gave us an intense chase sequence near the end, similar to what you'd find frequently in that series. Oh, there was also an Ape Escape level, which... that one was my least favorite one. I mean, it was still fine, just not enough to persuade me into finally trying one of them. If I were to rank all 5 of these from best to worst, it would be Uncharted is first, then God of War, then Loco Roco, then Horizon, and then Ape Escape last. I think Astro Bot is one of the absolute greatest platformers out on the market today. I'd even go as far as to say it rivals that of Nintendo's all-time greats like Mario and Donkey Kong, and dare I also say, quite possibly, the greatest PS5 exclusive so far. I honestly wouldn't be surprised at all if this wins Game of the Year at the Game Awards, along with a few others like Best Action Adventure, Best Family Game, and perhaps even Best Game Direction. There's just so much to love about this game. Almost everything it does, it successfully innovates with. And those innovations come with dynamically altering the environments of each stage, preventing the game from ever feeling stale even after dozens of hours played. At the end of the day, Astro Bot is one big joyous love letter to PlayStation fans, a fun for the whole family package, and just an adorable, charming tribute to 30 years of PlayStation's legacy, and by extension, 30 years of the gaming industry. And so my final score for Astro Bot is a 9 out of 10. And you know what? If I still did decimal points for my review scores, this would have been a 9.5. I really think it deserved all the rave reviews it got. It is an exceptionally well-made platformer. It's one of the best platformers I've ever played in my whole life, despite me still hating some of the optional challenge levels. I mean, come on, give me checkpoints. Just a side note, don't get the PS5 Pro because it looks like a fucking waste of money. Like an extra $200 for updated graphics and no disk drive? Fuck you. I hope that flops. Anyway, guys, stay tuned. Next month, I want to have a Silent Hill 2 review up at some point next month. So that'll be the next game I cover, hopefully. But until then, thank you for watching.
The Gamer Gods!